TP Sports News. Welcome to another edition of Talking Sports Sunday. We're going to be talking conference championship recaps, also our CFP predictions. I forgot all about y'all. Went live last night. I was supposed to change that thing.
That's my fault.
Nah, that's cool. Hey, man, listen. I don't want people to think I was trolling you by playing that. It was FanDuel playing his fault.
Nah, I know you don't never check that stuff, bro.
Yeah, I sure know. How you doing this morning, though?
I'm good, man. Heading into work right now. You know,
Oh, okay, okay. How long you gonna be there?
probably about an hour 15.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Well, that's cool. That's cool. We're gonna be talking a little bit of college football right now. Let's bring our man Mossberg in. Our man Post Game. Let's bring him in as well. Thanks for being in the chat. Old Texas Tech Man 9144. Go Red Raiders. I want y'all to make it all the way to the championship game if Texas don't play. For sure. Represent. How you feeling this morning, Mossberg?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Just getting off, getting in, getting settled. So just glad to be here. Talk a little bit about some great games we seen yesterday. Can't wait to this playoff, man. Really looking forward to the playoff. Think some teams going, put a stamp on their playoff resume this coming season in this playoff.
Yeah. Let's also welcome our man Post Game of the Post Game 86 podcast to the show. How you feeling, Post Game?
Feel good, man. Some great games on yesterday. We get the big news today. Hopefully everything goes as planned, but who knows with this committee. But how y'all doing this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Well, I see four guys on here this morning that's going to be a part of this committee on WTP Sports News, on Mossberg's Level Up Sports 10, on Post Game 86 podcast, and on FanDuel Zaya podcast. We're going to find out who we think should be those 12 teams that are in. We already know there's probably 10 that are a lock. It's those two spaces, 9 and 10, where we probably going to have to find out what's going to happen, and we're going to give our predictions on that as well. Let's also welcome old Texas Tech Man 9144 in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Anybody else that's in the chat, let us know who's out there in the chat. Hit the like button, subscribe. So we already know that North Texas went down to Tulane. So Tulane is going to be one of those group of 5 teams who make it to the college football playoffs. What's your thoughts on that game they had on Friday night against North Texas? They beat them pretty easily to me, in my opinion. How y'all feel about that team going into the college football playoffs, that Tulane team?
You can go ahead and take this one start post game.
Tulane was just a better team. They were more physical. But I don't think Tulane, once they get in the playoffs, are going to be able to beat any of these other teams. I really wish that the playoffs or the committee, whoever makes the decision, wouldn't put the group of 5 in this playoff unless one of their teams were ranked in the top 10. So I think Tulane, they were too much for North Texas. I picked North Texas. They were just too much. But I think they're going to get barbecued once they get in the playoffs.
I'm kind of with you in the same boat. My question is, does this Tulane team, shock us and get a win in this playoff, similar to a few years back when they beat that USC team that was pretty good, and Tulane came in and they played their hearts out in that game, and I felt this Tulane team with them getting that big win over North Texas, that they could possibly being in this playoff. I know the odds of them winning is pretty slim, but I think they could possibly come in and put something up like they did and beat the team like they did USC a few years back. We just don't know, but I don't think they could win it. But as we seen this weekend go, we didn't think Duke could win. I did pick them, and we see how that shook up. So you just don't know.
Did Tulane? They handled North Texas. I think they handled them though because they played tough opponents earlier in the year. I feel like they was battle tested enough and they played enough high end talent in their non conference to ultimately give them that final push when it came to that conference championship. But we all know they're gonna get popped. We all know.
Yeah, I agree with you too, Van Duzel, when you say that Tulane played just a much better schedule against some better quality opponents than North Texas did. And when North Texas did play what we thought was a quality opponent in South Florida, they got boat raced. So did they lose the Navy? No, they didn't lose the Navy too. They beat Navy, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like once Tulane gets there, they're a good group of five team to make it since that's part of the format. I really agree with you too, post game. I don't think no group of five team should be in there unless they are ranked in the top 12. If they think that they're one of the 12 best teams in the country. Because last year we seen Boise State get in there, who we thought was a really good football team, and they got it handed to them by Penn State. Just the physicality at this Power Four level is going to be way too much for Tulane.
Yeah. Just a quick thought on that. They played Ole Miss earlier in the season as well, and Ole Miss put a licking on them. So just thinking about that game, they really couldn't handle Ole Miss. They only put up 10 points in that game, and the late touchdown late to give them that. So you really don't know. They could get sanded down, but it's college football, man. We've seen Vegas and many things happen in a different light.
Yeah. So what do y'all think about George Madison getting one of those spots, probably the 12th spot, after beating Troy and of course the Duke beating Virginia, which we'll talk about after this game. What do y'all think about James Madison coming into this college football playoffs because of the way the format is set? They're probably going to be one of those teams that get that 11 or 12 seed. What do you think about that James Madison team?
Again, Rob, I don't think about James Madison. But I mean, this is the way the committee has set up the playoff bracket, and it looks like we're going to get two of them, man. James Madison being the other team. Um, Again, man, they had a great win. They won their conference, but they're going to get ripped apart. I'm like, it's like watching The Walking Dead, and somebody get caught in a crowd of walkers, and they just ripping them apart. That's what's going to happen to James Madison. I don't like the idea that James Madison is going to get in. I understand they deserve it or whatever, but I would rather see Duke in the playoffs than James Madison. Me personally.
Yeah, when I hear James Madison, I really think of a couple of guys we grew up with, AJ Davis, Devon Moore, basketball. You know, that's the thing I think about when you hear James Madison. When it comes to football, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna get in this playoff and do anything special. I think it's just that speed, that physical nature is just going up against these top schools is totally different. Hats off to James Madison, a great season that they had getting into this playoff, even pushing through, to make a name for themselves. Moving forward, we don't know what this could mean for their school recruits portal. We never know, but I don't think they have a shot. As post game say, barbecue chicken. James Madison gonna have a nice tailgate party. I think that's about it for this playoff game. No offense, but that's where I see it.
Yeah, the committee got to ask themselves: you want a five-loss team in the playoffs, or you want a conference champ that's a group of five school? Now, I think they're gonna say Duke, because now Duke got a 7-3 record against the Power Four, and James Madison is 0-1. So I feel like they're gonna probably come to the conclusion that Duke can compete better. Um, but James Madison, they get torched. Like I know I was singing them 3-4 weeks ago, but nah, I watched them for real. Like man, they little. That's a little football team.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hate the fact that it has come to this, man, and we're going to get possibly two group of five teams according to how this thing is written. I really just hope that the committee goes back to the drawing board and just decides, listen, we're going to have to do something to appease both sides, get rid of the group of five, get them their own 12 team playoff, 16 team playoff, whatever they want to do, but have it on a group of five level and let the Power Four schools do their thing. There's no need in allowing a group of five team or two taking up spots from teams. And I'm not just saying that because Texas is on the outside looking in and it's close. I just know that I want to see really good competitive football. And both of those teams, like my man Postgate said, barbecue chicken, they gonna be barbecue broccoli since I don't eat no meat. I put broccoli on the grill. Barbecue broccoli. So I just hope they fix that, man. I don't want to see neither one of those games, man. Now, I'm gonna watch them for maybe a half or two just to see what it looks like, because I like college football. But I hope that they fix that situation.
Hey, is that a real thing?
Barbecue.
Barbecue broccoli, oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Put it in some aluminum foil with some butter and seasoning.
It's a whole different level, Zay.
Banging.
That's a little too healthy for me, bruh.
Banging.
I ain't at that point in my life yet.
Come on, FanDuel, Zay. You gotta do it one time for the one time for brother.
Yeah, maybe in 5 years.
Well, let's talk about that Duke Virginia game. As our man, old Texas Tech 9144 said, Duke screwed everything up, and they sure did by beating Virginia yesterday. What is your thoughts on that game? I think we all probably had a feeling that Duke could probably pull off the upset, even though none of us wanted that to happen, because we knew what kind of situation it would create for the committee if Duke won this game, and they did. What's your thoughts on that matchup? And will Duke get to favor of the committee to jump James Madison in the rankings?
That's a good question. I just like picking Duke yesterday. It was good because I just felt they would fight. At the end of the day, Duke continued to fight in this game. I think this ACC, this Duke win, really made this playoff really more chaotic than we thought. You know, just with this win itself. Outside of the other games, this was a very chaotic win. So for me, I just like the win for Duke. You know, having that quarterback Mensa, just seeing him perform, and we know the leadership that he brings to that team, and they ran the ball well. They just played the right type of game that you need to play in the championship to win the game, showing resilience as well. So I give credit to Duke winning a game that nobody had them winning at all.
I guess the rest forgot to cheat. You know what I mean? Um, man, Duke winning, man. I'm telling you. I hope post game over there feeling real good, man. I feel like everything happened for post game yesterday that needed to happen. Um, but I really didn't catch too much. Y'all know my Buckeyes was playing at the same time, so I really was in and out on that game. I had it on my other TV over there, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. So I'm gonna just defer to you guys.
Yeah, we all knew coming into the game that Mensa can kind of ball, man, and you know, and that against the ACC team, Mensa can pull out a win against anybody. I think all those teams are frauds. If you ask me, Virginia was faking this whole time, Duke faking, Miami possibly faking. All these teams are frauds in the ACC, and which really caught me by surprise as the season went through. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure about that, Zay, because the committee might feel like they got to get an ACC team in, and if Virginia or Duke are not making the playoffs, they might defer to Miami and get an AC. I hope it's not that. I hope you correct, man. because everything else definitely went the Irish's way. Even Boise State winning their conference championship boosted Notre Dame up a little bit. But um, yeah, I could see a scenario where they got to get an ACC, where they feel like they got to get an ACC team in, and they jump Miami over some teams. But we gonna find out.
Yeah, I thought in the best case scenario, for at least for Texas anyway, things fell the way they needed to fall. But I would have liked to have seen Virginia win that game over Duke. That might have fared maybe a little bit better for Texas if the possibility of them leaving Miami out would happen since they didn't make their conference championship game. Um, but man, Virginia, like you said, post game, that whole conference was faking the funk on the nasty dump, man. Miami is probably the best team in that conference. And then when you look at their whole totality, you can look at it and say, listen, I don't think they're one of the 12 best teams in the country, or 10 best teams in the country, because we already know those other two slots is going to end up going to a group of 5 team. And I don't think they're one of the 10 best in the country, but they're right on the outside of that. But we'll have to wait and see what the committee is going to say, and then we'll get our say so here in a little bit. Let's talk about Texas Tech and BYU and how they manhandle BYU for yet another time. Is that enough for the committee to say, listen, BYU, you had a good, successful season. You're 11-2, but you're just not ready for this caliber of competition that takes place in this college football playoff. What's your thoughts on that matchup yesterday between Texas Tech and BYU?
You pretty much summed it up with what you just said. I don't think they're ready for this style of what's going on in this college football. Texas Tech really showed me they could really win this college football championship. I think, it's the door's wide open. I'm going to take the field. I really want to go with Ohio State running it back, but I'm going to go with the field. Just the way Texas Tech played yesterday, seeing that linebacking group, just seeing the offense. They're a different team. And like Zay was talking about their front seven, they constantly was talking about that Texas Tech 7. And I think they're a lot scarier than what we think. If you watch this Texas Tech defense, I think they coming at you in so many different ways. They fast, they hit, and they just keep going. It's like a wrecking ball with that Texas Tech team.
Yeah, y'all both summed it up. BYU has no business playing with these other teams. I don't think they're going to make it. Texas Tech proved that yesterday. They're just too talented of a team for BYU. They're similar to a lot of other playoff teams, which means BYU would get smoked by anybody they played in the playoffs, pretty much, except for these other smaller schools. But I just think Texas Tech showed and proved. They proved that it's levels according to the Big 12 conference. They're levels ahead of all those other teams. It's Texas A&M or Texas Tech. I keep saying A&M. It's Texas Tech and everybody else, and they showed and proved that yesterday. And I agree with Moss. They'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with when it come playoff time.
Hey, I just want to mention, Morris, you gonna stop with them curveballs, man. We talk about Texas Tech, BYU. You talk about Ohio State versus the field. You know what I'm saying? This the things that we talking about. Y'all be trying to find chinks in the armor. No, this is what we be talking about. We ain't mentioned nothing about no Ohio State.
We talking about
okay, let me just talk about Texas Tech real quick. Texas Tech do got a very good chance to win it all, in my opinion. Just because they get after the quarterback. That defensive line is something ridiculous. It's something to wreck. They can wreck a game by themselves. They scored 3 touchdowns within like 8 minutes or something. It was crazy. It was just crazy. But I mean, then again, like, what's the level of competition we think they playing in the Big 12 too? So we're gonna see. The rubber gonna meet the road. You know what I mean? So we're gonna find out what they really is. Probably in the second round. Well, not the second round. Yeah, well, they got a bye. So yeah, the second round, we'll probably find out what's going on with them. Now you can go ahead now, Moss.
So with my comparison, when we speaking on Texas Tech, I'm not throwing anything in there. I just had to say what I say. I'm just bringing it up and just mentioning them. They're really that tough. So it was only right to mention the fact that a lot of people do have Ohio State still running it back, but you have to mention other teams as well. That's just the point I was making when it comes to that. So I'm
You
sorry.
bet. After the stream, man, you should probably go back and watch that moment.
Oh, I will.
I really like this Texas Tech team, man. I think that they can score points, they can run the football, and they can play really good defense, and they can get after the quarterback like you need to be able to do. Once you get to this level of the season and this level of competition in the playoffs, they'll get a first round bye, in my opinion, because I don't see them falling out of the top four. I'm really anxious to see what they look like in that second round, though, because they're going to be facing a really quality opponent. I want to see what they look like, what their game planning is. I really like Joey McGuire, man. He's a hell of a football coach. Came from the high school ranks to coach over there at Texas Tech. Will he have his team up and ready for the team that he's going to face in that second round? Which it will probably either be Oregon or Texas Tech, whoever. I mean Texas A&M, whoever lands at number 5 in this thing. So we're going to get a chance to see really how good they are in that second round. But I think they're going to fare well. I think they're a really, really good football team who could win, who could win it all, who could definitely win it all. What's your thoughts on that Bama Georgia game yesterday? The way Bama lost that game, do you feel like, and really the way they played the last month, do you think that they're a top 10 team in the country and should stay in the college football playoffs? And what's your thoughts on Georgia and how good they looked yesterday?
Damn. Two great questions. Bama, like you said, they shouldn't be in the playoff, especially after yesterday. The last month, I respect that they passed game, but after seeing yesterday, Georgia really just stuffed them in the dirt. No run game, but Georgia's really that good. I think Georgia is really that good. They playing when it matters most. They stood tall against Texas. I know the next week, you know, they played kind of the way they played against Georgia Tech. That's a rivalry game, but then they come into this SEC championship, and we see this Georgia team that's back-to-back SEC championships, and hats off to Kirby Smart. I mean, to Smart and what he's doing. Can't can't not knock what he's doing. I mean, we all feel he's a top coach, and after yesterday's performance, I'm gonna stick with. I think Georgia is a team to watch as well. Just like we seen in Texas Tech, I think these championship games have showed us some things we needed to see.
Yeah, agreed, man. Alabama, how do you look so bad against the team you defeated already? It's unbelievable. Alabama has not looked good in the latter part of the season, and the early part of the season. In my opinion, the committee should leave Alabama out of the playoffs. But do I think they will do that? I don't think they will. I think they're going to keep Bama in. I think everything in the playoffs is pretty much set as far as who's going to be in, who's going to be out. I may be wrong. Like I said, they should leave Bama out, but I don't think they are, man. It's just that whole SEC thing. They do got some big wins against top 25 teams. So, and it's Alabama. As far as Georgia goes, man, Kirby Smart got that team playing great. He got those dudes rolling, and Georgia is definitely a force to be reckoned with, man. So,
Man, Bama is trash, and they gonna get popped if they get into the playoffs. But this game, post game, I think this is the game that helped you the most this weekend with their outing, because Like they shouldn't be in, like you said. But are they going to do that? Because if they do, if they lead them out, conference championships is dead. They're done. Like you could bank it. The SEC gonna be the first one ringing the bell. Like, why are we gonna play these conference championships games if y'all gonna leave us out and they already think that we the toughest conference. So I mean I just don't. They want to open Pandora's box. I mean they gonna leave them if they leave them out. They gonna open it up. So I don't know, man. I'm real curious to see what happened at 12 o'clock because it's a lot of things that's gonna implicate what the future look like.
Yeah. I just don't see why they would put Alabama in. Like, I just don't see why they would keep them in the playoff. Honestly,
Because the thing that worries me personally, Moss, is that they say making your conference championship shouldn't ding you that bad, whether you win it or lose it. So that's the issue for me. Is waiting to see what the committee going have to say about that because they made it to the SEC championship game. Yeah, they lost, but how bad does that affect you? And they got beat down, man, to a team they beat already. It's amazing. So we'll see what the committee got to say about that.
and
Hey,
that's
them SEC games is weird too. 28-7 is like 42-7 in the SEC.
yeah,
You know what I
bro.
mean? That's a 42-7 scoreboard to me.
Yeah,
And it
like
was like that the whole game.
talk to me, Zay. Talk to me. I was thinking the same thing. Like that offense Alabama got minus a run game. You 7 points. You get a touchdown. I think what was that? The third quarter. Come on, man. Like
That might have been the fourth quarter.
that's crazy. Ain't no way you got weapons of mass destruction. And you was on point with it, Zay. You said they only move the ball and they get them chunk plays. And they still couldn't make nothing happen out of that. Like, hats off to Ty and what he's doing with this offense. And they gotta find a run game. It's odd for me to not see Alabama with a run game and knowing the running backs that they have produced in the NFL over the past, just say past 10. So that's surprising to me. That's eye popping. And Georgia put a whooping on them. I don't think they deserve to be in 7 points. And you feel like you already in. Come on, Bama. Y'all got to show us something. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, the Alabama showing yesterday, man, is it. I believe Alabama can be a solid team if they had a run game. They have no running back on their roster who's healthy, who's going to be able to even have a semblance of a run game. That's first not. Then defensively, they played really hard yesterday, but you already know that you can wear them down because they can't stop everything, and they're not like good in pass coverage. They're not good in rush defense to where they can take one or the other away from the team. And the teams that they're going to play in this playoffs, outside of the two group of five teams, they're going to be up against it, man. And I think that if the committee wants to see the 10 best teams from the Power Four, they got to leave Alabama out. They're just not where they need to be in this field of the top 10 teams in the Power Four. So you got to leave them out, man. Their showing yesterday was not good. Now, I am a big fan of if you make your conference championship game, you should be seen. But they're on the edge of that 10. They're right there at 9, which means that they could easily be on the outside of 10, which they probably should be. Seeing that the last month how Alabama has played, they have not played really good football, and it's mainly because they haven't had a run game. They won't have a run game if they make it to the college football playoffs. So I think they should lead them out because it won't be a good showing for Alabama. As an Alabama fan, if I was one, I would not want to see my team get into the college football playoffs just to say we made it because they're going to be somebody's doormat, bro. They're going to be somebody's doormat, and they're going to get whooped up on just like they got whooped up on yesterday. And I wouldn't want to see that for my team. So I think they should lead them out. As far
Bro,
as Georgia is concerned, they're playing some of the best football in college right now. They're able to, when they get ready to prepare for you. Now, if everybody look at that Georgia Tech game, they think, oh, well, they didn't really play Georgia Tech all that well. But they probably wasn't even preparing for Georgia Tech to that degree like they prepared for other teams that are on their schedule. I think this Georgia team is so balanced and their defense is playing really, really well at this point in the season. Way, way better than they played early in the season. They could be another team that could possibly win it all. I really like the way this Georgia team looks. They're not going to abandon the run. They're going to be able to get Gunner Stockton those short throws that he needs to make to his tight ends and to Branch and to the other fella that he got at the wide receiver position. I think this Georgia team is going to be a tough out for anybody. They're playing some really, really good football right now.
Yeah. Uh, what was you was about to say something, Zay?
Yeah, you know what was tricky though about this Bama thing? They will go into direct comparison with I think Vandy, and they got the head-to-head matchup. You know, either you gonna leave Notre Dame in, and you gonna jump the ACC champion in, or you gonna get rid of all the ACC teams, and then in that case, I think Bama will stay in. But that's the tricky part. It's the teams that's on the bubble that was already on the bubble that you comparing them to.
Then, like, just real quick, they had minus 0.2 yards per rush yesterday. -3 rushing on the whole game. That's insane. That's bulldog defense. Um, I don't know what else to say, man. Like, if this the team we want in the playoff, it's like it's gonna be a watch for us. We're gonna watch the other team try to trounce Alabama. I think they gonna, feel a certain way if they get in. A lot of teams is gonna feel that way. So it always seemed to come down to this Bama team the last few years. This the year they ain't getting in this year. We talked about it throughout the year. This might be one of them teams. I think their time is up. Just because they get to the SEC championship don't mean they get in because they lost. They got smacked. They got BTA'd, as we would say, and nobody showed up.
Man, as much as I agree with you, Moss, I just don't know what the committee's going to do. It all depends on how they value that conference game, man. Because I definitely don't think Alabama should get jumped today, but being in that conference championship game, that's the whole tricky thing, as FanDuel would say. So we'll see.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the game last night? The best game probably of the whole entire conference championship weekend. Indiana and Ohio State. Indiana came out and prevailed in that game over Ohio State, 13-10. A really, really good football game. I mean, I think everybody who watched it probably was sitting on the edge of their seats because it was such a really, really good football game. What's your thoughts on that matchup? Ohio State, who lost that game, are they still going to fall only to number two, or do you think they should fall a little bit further back since they weren't a conference champion, a Power Four conference champion?
Yeah, I'll jump it off. Last night that was beautiful football. That was classic, beautiful Big Ten football. I really enjoyed that game. Outside of watching the Irish, that was probably my favorite game of the season. Um, I felt like the kid, the defensive lineman from Ohio State, Curry, that's the definition of a motor. That kid right there got a hell of a motor on him, and he really got after Mendoza throughout the game. But I think it was Indiana's defense and them playing physical and solid. When I was watching the game, I looked at Smitty and I looked at his high school teammate, the corner who was guarding him. They said he had like 50 pounds and 5 inches on him. I thought Ohio State would over target Jeremiah Smith, and I know that probably wasn't their game plan, but that was just such a mismatch. Uh, Mendoza made some key throws down the stretch, down the field. It was a close game. Both teams missed field goals, and Indiana got the win. I didn't think they could beat Ohio State, but they got the job done. So hats off to them. Um, as far as Ohio State dropping, I don't see them dropping far. They definitely won't drop out of the top four. They might move to three, and Georgia move to two, if anything. But what a hell of a game that was last night. Just beautiful.
Man, it's always like T1, like City League TV said, it's always hard going behind post game. Man, doubling back with what you said, man, probably the best game I've seen all year. Um, I was at work watching this game, and I didn't know Ohio State got stopped late in that game to where Indiana got the ball back. It was just so much going on. But like you said, Curry, watching Indiana's defense, the linebackers, the defensive line, and Mendoza, I did not know he had what he had in him. Zay's been telling us about these guys all season. He's been telling us about Sig. I've been watching some of the things that, Heave talked about after the game. That guy's a gamer. And still, man, shout out to these Buckeyes. I'm not going to sit here and act like they not still a team that's a threat. Shout out to them and what they do. At the lowest they go, I think it's three. You can't drop them no lower than three. And that's hats off to the way Georgia played in that championship game and the way they've played in the last couple of weeks, winning games against Texas and then Alabama and, of course, Georgia Tech. So I just think at the lowest they drop is three, but two teams, I feel they hit, we talking about teams that can win this playoff.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good matchup yesterday, man. Both teams played really, really good defensively. I think it just came down to I think Indiana found a matchup that they liked down the stretch that they were able to take advantage of with a couple of throws, and they were able to capitalize on those things to get this victory. Um, and they played really, really good defense. They had a really good defensive plan for Ohio State yesterday that slowed them down. I know a lot of people that I heard talking on some of the shows were talking about how vanilla Ohio State looked. And sometimes I just think sometimes the matchup that you're playing against, they don't allow you to set up those other plays that you want to do. And I think that Indiana did that really well yesterday. They stopped the plays that Ohio State ran out there that didn't allow Ohio State to go ahead and come behind that play with another successful play off of it. And I think Indiana played really, really, really good football yesterday. Hats off to Kurt Signetti and that Indiana team. They played lights out.
Shout out to Indiana, Cursinetti. That's my guy, man. I respect Cursinetti a whole hell of a lot. I think y'all seeing Kurt turn this team into a powerhouse in the Big Ten currently as we speak. Hell of a game by both defenses. I think them is the two best defenses in the country. Um, Shout out to that dude in the middle though, Tucker. He balled out. He's a monster.
92.
Yeah, Mendoza, he made some throws. I felt like whoever won this game and whoever probably had a better impact in this game out of the quarterback should win the Heisman. So I'm gonna go ahead and succeed the Heisman to him. First time in Indiana history they won a Big Ten. Well, not the first time. I think since 1960 or something. But this is historical. This is historical for Indiana right now. So I mean, I would give it to Mendoza just based off of that alone. 13-0 undefeated regular season. Um, Hopefully they can refocus and have a good showing in the playoff because I still don't think the country respects that team. They didn't respect them last year. I feel like they damn sure deserve their respect now, if not, to say the least. But what you said, Rob, you was hearing people saying we played vanilla on offense. We absolutely play vanilla. But I think this is a reoccurring thing for this coaching staff. I think right before the playoffs, they just like, all right, it's our talent versus your talent, and let's just see if we can win. Because I don't think they trying to show their hand like before, right before the playoffs, and show really what we're gonna like when we actually put our foot on the pedal, what we actually gonna look like. So I'm not saying they called the game to lose, but I think they called the game to where they just like, all right, it's our players versus your players. We just trying to get out of this game, and keep our chess pieces on the board because the ultimate goal is a national championship. You know, we showed some stuff in the Michigan game that I thought we could have came back to in this game, and we didn't do it. So even the run coordination of the game, like the run offense, we was running plays, and I ain't seen us run out of formations all year. I'm like, all right, okay, but maybe they seen something on film that they thought they could attack. That's why I'm like, all right, well, we just gonna let that go. But another thing, that DC, this is the first time I seen Julian saying confused all year. He was confused. Julian saying typically don't hold the ball. He was holding the ball like he didn't know where to go. And even when they do the replay, it's like, bro, he's stuck on Jeremiah or Carnell, and it's a dude to your other side that's sitting right there in the zone, wide open. So he just gotta go hit that film and get better, because I think somebody them found a hiccup in Julian saying. If you can confuse him, you can get him off schedule for sure. Uh, but I'm like, listen, I didn't feel bad after we lost. Everything is still in front of us. As bad as we wanted a Big Ten title because we ain't had one in so long. I felt, listen, I felt good. I'm telling you, because now I feel like this is like playing all over again from last year. It's like, all right, y'all lost y'all's last game. Now y'all know. Let's refocus. Let's get that hunger back. Y'all looked as sad on that sideline, so y'all better use that as jet fuel, and let's go get another natty. Because they trying to find chinks in the armor. They trying to.
When you say, Zay, about how Julian saying finding something or not, would you give credit? Because I know you talk about Signetti and credit and him. Would you give credit to the way he, prepared for this game? Early in the game, I had watched that third down possession where time and time again you guys run that trips formation, and Tate, he opens up, and they had mentioned that, and that's when Indiana got that interception. I had thought at that point, like, is this Indiana team really? They really, like, they sat back and really studied heavily on this game. How much credit do you give Signetti just in key moments in this game, as far as in making the right call, or what's your thoughts on that? I mean, I know you're a Buckeye fan, but just give us your thoughts on that aspect of it.
I mean, I've already gave their coaches their flowers and their players their flowers. I've said this. I've already gave them their flowers. I thought the DC was the key coach, like, of the game. He probably, they say he in the running for the what's the award called,
That's
for top
assistant coach,
coordinator.
Yeah.
assistant coach. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
I
the name.
think,
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, based off that performance in that game last night, he might be the front runner to win top coordinator, man. The way that defense looked out there, man. I'm just saying, like post game said, they were overmatched on the wing. I mean, on the outside. They were overmatched. And if you look at the box score will tell you, yeah, Jeremiah Smith did this, and they had something going, but nah, them dudes played well. They played well, man. And shout out to Pons, bro. He got beat that one ball that Julian Saint underthrew, and that probably could have been the difference in the game. You just lead him out there, he catch it, he walk into the end zone. But outside of that, I mean, he had him on, he had Jeremiah Smith on lock in the red zone. We tried to run a couple fade routes to him. No lane to run it. So I think that DC did his thing, man. For sure. Like that. Listen, we take our hats off to Indiana. About damn time we don't look like we still carrying the Big Ten. We don't want to have the Big Ten on a backpack. You know, somebody else show up. Somebody else do something. I hope they run through this playoff too, and I hope they beat a couple SEC teams on the way because I'm tired of the SEC. I'm tired of them.
I like the fact,
SEC, SEC, SEC.
when I was thinking about that Smitty matchup with his fellow buddy and everything, I just, I thought about that like a backyard rivalry. You just going out there getting after it. So, you know, I know Smith, gonna go back and think about some things. Maybe, I think the Buckeyes, when you think about it, 13-10, we know what they did last year after losing 13-10. So for me, on the outside looking in, if I was a team in the playoff, I'd be like, man, we got to watch out for these Buckeyes. We seen what they did last year. So I think all in all, great showing for Indiana. They get my respect, like you said. After this game, I don't know if a lot of people gonna respect them. I respect them wholeheartedly after seeing the way they performed, even in key situations last night, and just being ready to play and being resilient. And we've seen some teams falter playing against Ohio State in key moments, but they stood tall. So definitely respect this team and look forward to them in this playoff as well.
Yeah, hey, and last thing. Please, Buckeye Nation, leave Fielding alone, man. He man, listen. Leave him alone, bro. Don't send no death threats. It's a public service announcement, man. He's still a college student, bro. He had a tough one. He had a tough career for real. He's used to missing these field goals for some reason. But leave the man alone, man. It shouldn't have came down to a field goal. We was in the red zone 5 times. We only got one score. We was stuffed on fourth down. Don't go after Fielding, y'all.
All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and put on our committee hats and see what we think are the top 12 teams that the committee will put in this college football playoffs. Do we believe that Indiana for certain is the number one team going into this college football playoff?
Absolutely. I'm only undefeated team left.
Without a doubt.
All right, so
Yeah,
we already got that out the way. Who you think should fall in at number 2? And state
I'm
your case.
going I'm going Georgia Bulldogs. Uh I listen, I think the best two teams in the country was on the field last night on the same field, but I'm gonna go Georgia because of the simple fact that they won their last game that they played, and Ohio State lost their last game that they played. So they got the same identical record. I would probably say uh, Georgia beat maybe a team or two better than Ohio State did. So just off a resume alone, I'll move them to 2.
I agree the same way with Zay. And then just watching this Georgia defense these last few weeks, over the last month actually. So I definitely think they deserving of that 2 seed. Nothing else to say about that one.
yeah, I completely agree with y'all. Georgia should be the 2 seed. They just won the SEC championship. They playing really good ball. So I got Georgia as the second seed.
Yeah, I got Georgia as a second seed as well. I just think that the fact that they won their conference championship game, they should probably get that number 2 seed, and they did it convincingly. Do I think they're a better team than Ohio State? I don't think so, but I think that they deserve to be the number 2 team going into this college football playoffs. Who would y'all slide at number 3?
The Ohio State University.
Yeah, I got Ohio State sliding to number 3 also. I can't put Texas Tech over any of these teams, but they'll definitely be in the top 4. So I got Ohio State at 3.
Same here. I got O State 3. Uh, it's time to shackle up, boys.
Oh man, old Texas Tech got Ohio State at 3-2, at 3, Georgia at 2, and Indiana at 1. Much like y'all have. I feel like I don't think that Texas Tech is better than Ohio State. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that they won their conference championship and Ohio State didn't. I would just give them the benefit of the doubt and say, listen, man, you won yours. They didn't. I'm going to put Texas Tech at 3 and move Ohio State to 4. Who y'all got at 4? Not that I think they better than Ohio State. I would just reward them since they won their conference championship, and they all got the same record.
I'm
That
going.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Who y'all got at 4?
Yeah, I got Tech at 4. I I thought about what you said, Rob. I thought about them winning and Ohio State losing, swapping them out, but I just can't. I don't think the Big 12 holds as much weight as neither the Big 10 or the SEC. So I got Tech at 4.
I also got Tech at 4. I was thinking the same thing of flipping them to 4 because I think that would prevent that rematch from happening. But I'm gonna keep it how it is. I got Texas Tech at 4.
Yeah, Texas Tech at 4 is really no discussion for me. I mean, they lost to Arizona State. Ohio State lost to the number 2 team in the country at the time. That's the separation for me.
Who do y'all got at number 5?
Got them quack attack Oregon Ducks. One of the most, I think, most silent team in this playoff, man. I think they silent with an instinct to kill. And I'm not saying nothing in a bad way. I'm saying that on the football field, ladies and gentlemen. I think this Ducks team is out to prove a point. I think being in this 5 space give them that home field advantage. I think they come out and they look for more after.
The Oregon as well.
Yeah, I got the Ducks.
Yeah, I got Oregon there as well. I think they're better than Ole Miss and Texas A&M and any of those other teams that I'm going to place behind them. I'm going with Oregon at number 5 as well. Who do y'all got at number 6?
Man, this is where it get tricky because this Ole Miss team. But I'm gonna say they coming out and they gonna fight. They gonna play even stronger than they have before. I'm gonna go Ole Miss at 6. Go Ole Miss at 6.
Yeah, I agree with you, Moss. I'm gonna keep Mississippi at 6.
Oh, Texas, man, y'all did lose to Arizona State. I don't know what was funny about that, but at 6, uh, I'm going Texas A&M. I know what the committee got. I don't think they'll swap them, but I think Texas A&M deserves that 6th spot.
FanDuel say I was thinking the same way you were, man, but then I said, okay, well, Ole Miss lost to Georgia, who we got at 2. Texas Tech lost to Texas, who was back there at 13, according to the committee. I do think that the Texas A&M team is better than Ole Miss, but the fact that the resume looks a little bit better for Ole Miss, I kept them at number 6. So I'm going with Ole Miss at 6. Who do y'all have at 7?
SEC Sean's Texas A&M Aggies at 7.
Yes, sir. A&M at 7. Sounds good to me.
Ole Miss for me. I was just gonna swap them. So Texas A&M, Ole Miss 6-7.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M right there at number 7. Who do y'all have at 8?
At 8, I got the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Same here. I know it's a tough one. A lot of people don't see them, man. I see them, man. Sometimes I wish I could put them higher, but I definitely got the Irish at 8.
Yeah, like this is the same instance for me. I'm with post game. I will put Notre Dame at 8 right here, even though I know for a fact the committee's not going to put them right there. They're probably going to stay with Oklahoma right there, but I will put the Fighting Irish at 8.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Notre Dame should be 8. I feel like Notre Dame should have been ahead of Oklahoma this whole time. This Oklahoma team is another team that I feel like is going to be in the field, and they're not going to have a good showing. So I got Notre Dame at number 8. Who do y'all got at number 9?
With Oklahoma Sooners. number 9. Tough.
Yep.
Went with them.
Yep. I'm the same. I got Oklahoma at 9.
OU, clean sweep.
I got Miami at number 9. I really feel like they're a better team than Oklahoma. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Texas fan. I just really feel like Oklahoma is probably the weak link out of all of these teams we've named so far. I feel like Oklahoma is that one team who they just don't have enough, man, to be successful in this college football playoffs. Hopefully they prove me wrong because I'm an SEC fan and I want to see the SEC do good. But I will pick Miami at number 9. Who do y'all got at 10?
I'm gonna take Miami at 10. I think Miami deserves to be in the college football playoffs, especially ahead of Bama. I doubt the committee sees it my way. I hope they do, but I will put Miami in at 10.
Man, it's crazy because like it's between 7 different teams. It seemed like for 3 spots. I'm actually gonna shock a lot of people with this, man. You know, I'm always about chaos. Guess what? I'm gonna give you chaos. I'm gonna pick Duke at number 10, the ACC champs. I just think they're gonna give them a little love. I know Miami has the resume they have, but guess what, Miami? She didn't show up in the championship game. So guess what? Duke did. They won. At the end of the day, I gotta give them that. So I'm gonna go Duke 10 in a landslide. Hopefully it happens.
Yeah, the 10 for me, I'm going to go Tulane. I think Tulane gets slotted in at the 10 spot.
Okay. Well, if they put Duke at number 10, then wherever their office is, wherever that conference room is, where they have any discussions, red rum is going to be going to be written in blood on the outside of their door for sure. Because somebody going to want to murder them for putting Duke in. At 10, I will put Miami right there at number 10. Man, I want so badly to say that Texas is a top 10 team, and I want to put them there, but I ain't going to be no homer and put them there. I really want to kick Oklahoma out because I don't think that they're going to be any good in this playoff. But they've been getting shown so much love, especially because of that win over Alabama. I'm going to pick Miami at number 10. And who y'all got at 11?
11, I go James Madison or Tulane. I'm sorry. I go Tulane at 11.
I'm going the same way with Tulane. I know these last 3 is crazy, but I'm going with the conference champion winners. I just think it's deserving. It's just playoffs. It's just starting to. It's so crazy and chaotic at times, man. And this is one of them times where it's just very chaotic. And this is just my prediction. I got Tulane at 11.
Yeah, my 11 seed will be Miami.
Yeah, I will put Tulane at number 11. Now, who will round out y'all's top 12 in this college football playoff?
That's where I leave it at James Madison. So Tulane 10, James Madison 12. I think they could throw Miami right there in the middle of them.
Yeah, I got James Madison as the last team getting there due to the conference championship and Duke winning.
Same here. James Madison 12.
Yeah, James Madison for sure. What do y'all think some of the committees debates are going to be in their conference room when they decide what's going to go on? What do you think was probably going to be their number one debate in
Yeah.
that conference room?
Yeah, I think it's going to be what they do with Bama. Do they keep Bama in? Do they kick Bama out? And of course, you got to look at the Miami situation, the Duke situation. It's going to be crazy. This the views on this decision here is going to be through the roof. It's going to be to the moon that way.
I think that Duke. I think this Duke team made it very difficult. Um, not if I'm not mistaken, Miami didn't make the championship game last year. Um, I think Duke makes it that much more difficult. I'm not even thinking about Alabama being in this playoff. I think you got the Duke that makes it tough. I think then you have Texas, you have the Vandy, and then you have Miami. I mean, if you're gonna talk about Alabama being in, you got to talk about Miami before them. Miami has done, I feel, a much better job. I could trust Miami being in that playoff with that offensive defense, with Beck being a quarterback that's been there before, won these type of games, know how to perform in this situation. So, that's really the things that I see. But it's very chaotic. Like you said, post game, views is gonna be shooting out the roof, man. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot to talk about. You got to separate the conference champions and Georgia, Indy, Texas Tech, and Tulane. Since Tulane is the highest ranked Group of Five school, so that's four automatic bids, and then you just go ahead and pick off your at-large bids. And once you get to the threshold of okay, we now we got to talk about the ACC and what happened there, and then we got to compare these teams to the group of Bama, Notre Dame, and Miami. Then you just got to start weeding hairs and really get down to what do you deem as the key components to a team qualifying for this playoff. And we got all these conversations about this and that. I mean, that every committee is different and they value different things. So we really don't know. We really don't know at all.
Just a quick question, real quick, before you go. You got, based on what we picked, so far, as well as old Texas Tech man in the comments, between Texas, Vandy, Alabama, Miami, you vowing for one spot. I think Unc, you might be sitting. You might have to sit with your fingers crossed these next couple of days, because I think it's kind of looking towards Texas. When I look at things, and it's not even me being biased towards your Longhorns. I think you could put this Texas team in there. I think you'll get that performance. They could get healthy as well. I think that'll make a difference compared to some of these teams we've seen. And I know they've beat these teams, as well as the Oklahoma team that we see in this playoff. Y'all handily beat. So I think it's definitely got my head spinning already, just talking about it.
Yeah,
It would.
go ahead, post.
My bad, Rob. It would be so easy if they didn't have this group of five thing going on. Because now you're talking about Texas, Vandy, Miami, all of those teams get in. Maybe even a BYU. Um, at least they're in a stronger position. But I think without the group of five thing, the last two seeds go to maybe Texas and Miami or Vandy. So that group of five thing is just blowing me.
But well, post if the group of five wasn't there, the last four seeds would be Bama, Miami, Notre Dame, and OU.
The last four or two.
The last four: Notre Dame, OU, Bama, Miami. It still wouldn't be complicated, but them are all the teams right now. That's we got what one, two, three, four. We got six teams vying for four spots.
Yeah. So the last two seeds, I think, because I got if it top 10, I got Notre Dame and or excuse me, I got Oklahoma, and Miami as the 9 and 10, and then the last two spots. If you remove the group of five, I was saying either Vandy or Texas. I don't think, man. Me personally, I don't think Alabama is worthy. But that's just me
True.
though.
True. Tulane, you're right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Mhm. That committee gonna show the favor.
I mean, out of what Mossberg said, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Texas fan, they got the most compelling case. I mean, they played of all of the teams that we've named so far. They played four of those teams. They went 2-2. They beat Oklahoma and they beat A&M, and they beat both of those teams by double digits. They beat OU by 3 scores on a neutral field. Now, of
Yeah.
course, they had A&M at home in Austin, and they did get beat up by Georgia in that fourth quarter, and they lost to Ohio State first game of the season 14-7. When you think about Vanderbilt, they beat Vanderbilt head to head. So I mean that's out the window right there. They didn't play Alabama, but Alabama played Georgia twice, went 1-1, and they played Oklahoma and went 0-1. So they're 1-2, and then I don't think they played Ole Miss or Texas A&M. So I think Texas has the most compelling case going 2-2 and losing to who we believe will be the one, no, the 2 or 3 seed in this college football playoff in Ohio State and Georgia. I think they had the most compelling case. Um, I just think they're a better team than Oklahoma for sure because they beat them and they beat them pretty easily. I even believe, even on a neutral site, I think they can still beat Texas A&M. Because I think what we found out about Texas A&M, and we really saw it all season, is you can run the football on Texas A&M. And
Yeah.
if you can't stop the run in a playoff, you're going to have trouble beating teams, man. Because if they can run the football, that means they can limit your possessions and keep your offense on the sideline. So I think Texas has a compelling case. I just think that third loss being to Florida is going to be what kills them, along with the fact that they struggled against Mississippi State and Kentucky. So I wouldn't put them in, even though I think they had the most compelling case out of everybody in that last 10, 11, 12 range. But I gotta go, y'all. So y'all go ahead, and if y'all want to continue, y'all can continue on. But I gotta go, and if not, we can go ahead and wrap it up.
We it's up to you, Zay. What you want to do?
Oh, now I'm about to read off my T sheet and talk about his Longhorns.
Let's
All
do
right, go
it.
ahead. Talk
Let's
about
do
it behind my back, cause I'm out.
it. All
You,
right.
you'll watch. You'll watch it.
Be
No,
safe and have a good one, man, for sure.
all right, y'all. Y'all be safe, man.
All right, fam.
Somebody gotta close out the stream, though. Who gonna
Well,
close out the
Zay,
stream?
I can close the stream out, man. Boss Fry for that one.
nah, I ain't. It ain't set up on my thing this time. I ain't. It ain't set up so where I can't close it out. I'm gonna have to send me the login so I can redo it on my computer and everything.
All
You
right,
know, I
y'all.
could. I could close it. I could close it off.
Cool.
But I don't think Texas got a strong argument for real. I think on field, if I
You
had
on
to
mute,
choose
Zay?
them,
I think.
I ain't on mute. Hello, hello.
Yep,
Can
you
y'all
Why I
hear me?
can't?
Yeah, you good.
Why I can't hear him?
I don't know. Hello.
No, I can hear you. You good, Zay? Go ahead.
All right. But I don't think Texas has a strong post game. Still can't hear me, can he?
Yeah, I was just telling him to turn his mic on and off real quick to see if it came back in.
But I don't think Texas got a strong argument only because they didn't beat some of the teams that they should have beat by more points. I think on field though, like head to head, I would pick them to win against a lot of these teams, but them aren't factual statements, so we can't take that into account of we think they gonna beat them because it's the games haven't been played, so we can just go off of what we know. Um, but my
Bro, I can't hear Nathan. I
yeah
just see
my
his icon moving.
We can hear you clearly, which is crazy.
yeah I can hear you I can hear him too. But my cheat sheet I got Georgia, Indy,
Rob did
Texas
something
Tech.
on his way out, man. Say, I
I got
promise you, I can't hear. All I see is your icon moving, but I can't hear a word you saying. I don't know if it's me or what.
He about to Zay just about to go down and scroll to your mic. Sorry about the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. He just gonna go down, get the mic situated, and come back in. But I agree, man. It's a lot that we really got to look at when it comes to this playoff. And old Texas Tech, man, we appreciate you guys. A three-loss team shouldn't get in. It's it's hectic with that three-loss team situation. I think that's something you know, we've literally been talking about from day one. I think Zay and Post three-loss team, it'll be one to get in, and we wasn't for sure. I mean, any conference, it would probably be the SEC or the Big Ten. But now seeing where we at, I think it'll possibly come from the SEC. We just don't know.
Yeah, can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me post game?
Yeah, perfect.
We got everything good. You good?
But
Um,
I was saying my cheat sheet when I read my stuff down, I had Georgia, Texas Tech, Indiana, and Tulane just automatic. You know what I mean? That's automatic for it. And then I just crossed off at large bids and tried to kind of like figure out who would they be comparing to comparing for them last four spots. So I crossed off Ohio State, Oregon, Ole Miss, and A&M. So that comes down to last four spots, and I got Notre Dame, OU, Bama, Miami, Duke, and James Madison. Them are the teams I think they're going to really probably categorize them in sets of threes and just pick two out of each group and be like, all right, these are the teams that's in the same tier with each other. This is I don't know how it's going to look, but that's the six in my mind that they're going to do that with.
I
I,
wrote
I
that
don't
down,
think Vandy and Texas A&M or Texas is going to be in the room at all. I don't think they have no path to get in.
and I wrote that down too because that was when I think that second week playoff came out. Zay, you was real heavy on a lot of those picks, just the way the season was at that point. So shout out to you and your picks, man. You've really been hitting on a lot of your picks as well as you also post. I just know you be so much into that FanDuel Zay, man. We trying to get them to holler at you, FanDuel. Put your blocks and put your parlays and all that good stuff on there because you know what you be talking about, man. And we appreciate that expertise as well. Because as we look at it, I just think about everything you said about when it comes to this playoff, and I honestly wish we could move post games Notre Dame team up. Maybe another spot, but the team in front of them is Texas and I really wonder how some of these teams will play against each other in the rematch today. Notre Dame being one.
Hey, are y'all free today?
Um, I'm
Yeah,
free. I'm free. I don't got work till tonight, so I'm free.
I got some snow to shovel, but other than that, I'm gonna be in the house chilling. So
Because I was about to say that the show come on at 12 o'clock.
We want to set up another one for 12.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, we could
oh
do
yeah,
that. I'm gonna just jump out, grab a coffee. If for the one for 12, we could also throw the NFL picks in there to start as it's going, just to chop it up about a little bit of that if you want to. That way we could go jab in and look over our picks because I know you headed to your spot to make sure you get that ticket in on a Sunday.
Nah, I ain't gambling, man. It's Christmas season.
I didn't know if you was on your way, man. You know it's always a good time, man. But
Christmas
uh,
season.
anything else before we do chime back in and get to that 12 o'clock session?
nope.
Hey man, we Donnell, we appreciate you tuning in. Old Texas Tech man 9144, man. Give us that hospitality, man. Bring us all down to College Station, man. Send us a little care package. We'll come down. Let us know what we got to do to get down there, man. We'd like to come down, get some of that Texas barbecue and whatnot with the party crew, man. Outside of that, man, FanDuel Zay, we appreciate what you do, man. Just your knowledge of this college football, NFL as well. Even your
Hey,
showing these days.
hold
Yeah.
on, Moss. Hey, old Texas man, BYU was trash. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, I don't think they have an inch to get in this playoff. I think it's just too tough for BYU. Anything you had to add in post game before I take us out of here?
No, sir. Y'all got it. Great show. Always a pleasure to be on with y'all.
For sure, fam.
And make sure, man, y'all go tap in the post game, man. Breaking down, just giving us great talks, even about the Bend down there. He's at South Bend, repping Indianapolis Colts, Notre Dame, all through and through. FanDuel Zay, home of the Midwest, Natty champ, Buckeyes until someone dethrone them boys. One thing about FanDuel Zay, he gonna put the work in. Does a lot of our media, all the screens shooting in and shooting out. You see, that's FanDuel Zay getting his work in, as well as those introductions for the crew. I'm Mossberg as well, doing a Level Up Sports 10. We do so many things, and we definitely want you guys to tap into us. If you have a kid, niece, nephew, don't matter. We want to come out. We want to be a part of their sports talk, growing in their life as far as in them being involved in sports and come and get a glimpse of it and what they do respectively. So if that's you, definitely tap into the channels you see at the bottom. You got Post Game 86, you got WTP for Life, you got Parlay Pro of the Blitzburg podcast, you got City League TV, you got the man up there, FanDuel Zay. You also have SEC Sean. He does a lot of NASCAR talks and bring us Texas football game as well, football talks and high school talks as well. And I'm Mossberg, Level Up Sports 10. If you want that great interview or just conversation with Mossberg, whether it's life, sports after, get with us and we'll get that done. But other words, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in and make sure you hit your notifications for that all and on because we coming back at 12 to talk about that college football playoff. Until then, we always
Somebody
do.
put an APB out for Poe and T1.
Yeah, put an APB out for them guys. Y'all see it. Make sure y'all tap into it. Hit they text. We about to get in the chat and tell them we need them at 12. We'll see you. Other than that, man, as we always do, we in the building.
Peace.
We out. Peace.
There we go.